Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming racing in Hong Kong and try to sort out an element of the races that we might look back on later as having been a key to finding the winner. Well, a rarity in Hong Kong on Sunday, our only day meeting of the year at Happy Valley, while Sha Tin gets a rest and the grass has changed over from summer grass to winter grass. And it's always an interesting day's racing, and it's also the only day that I get to talk to you about Happy Valley during the season. So during this show we're going to examine a couple of little aspects that you might be able to use even after Sunday if you're punting on Happy Valley during the rest of the season. But first of all, to the races, and the first of our races is race 4, and our winning factor here, experience. Well, this is a Class 4 with a handful of major chances. I think Jazz Steed will have fans. The last start course and distance winners, Wild West Wing and Gowton of Garrow, have chances. And a couple of very interesting unraced horses, Romantic Trove and Harmony and Blessed. Well, first of all, let's have a look at Wild West Wing. He was a course and distance winner in this class. He's the benchmark race form coming into this. And here you'll see him in race at 106. He drew gate 12, and Joao Moreira had to use him a little bit to get around the other leaders coming to the home turn. He's 4 wide in the predominantly blue and white colours there. Eventually gets around them, skips away, and then pretty much coasts to the line. I think he had a little bit in reserve if it was necessary, and it was a pretty solid win by Wild West Wing. Now, that was not the win of any future superstar, but it was certainly very solid. However, we're coming into that time of the season where we start to see very regularly these new horses with no previous form anywhere. They're coming out of barrier trials, and some of them are very talented. Recently we saw Courier Wonder win easily on debut. We saw last week Soaring Tower do something similar, and some of them are very talented horses going somewhere. So we get this clash of the inexperienced talent with maybe a lesser talent but more experience. And we're going to take a look now at the performance of unraced horses. These are horses having their first start in Hong Kong in Class 4. And Romantic Trove and Harmony and Blessed both have good ability, but particularly Harmony and Blessed, who I think is going to command a lot of attention here. And we're going to have a look at why. And he's had 3 trials in Hong Kong. He has won a trial at Happy Valley, but this is his latest trial on October 27, down the straight course at Sha Tin, and he quickly leads for Blake Shin in those mainly red and blue colours. And he leads throughout, runs a good time, good sectionals, without ever being really extended. You do see he's a little bit green in the final 250 metres, wanting to run around a bit, lay in a bit. Was that a vice which will count against him on race day, or was he just looking for a rail on his inside? And that's the sort of thing that all unraced horses have to work through on race day. If they have little quirks like that, that are going to count against them in races, whereas in trials they really don't matter. So we get this clash of the talented unraced horse with the less talented but experienced horse when they get into these Class 4 races. And the graphic I'm going to show you now shows the performance of those Class 4 debutants. Now, this is over the last 15 years in Hong Kong racing, and what sticks out on these figures is that Happy Valley is a more difficult assignment for them. At Sha Tin you've got a bigger, less complicated track, and the new horses, the unraced PPGs, they surpass the market expectations overall, while at Happy Valley they fall short of what the market anticipates, both at 1,000 and 1,200 metres. And when we narrow the Happy Valley debutants now to just horses hard in the market at $11 or shorter, we see better results at 1,200 metres for them, but the unraced at 1,000 metres are still finding it a great leveller. And below that, you'll see the list of some horses who've won at 1,000 metres Happy Valley at their first start. They've generally turned out well above average, headed by Mr. Stunning, a recent superstar of the Hong Kong scene. So it isn't as simple as it seems, just bringing a horse with some talent to Happy Valley, sending them around over the short course and expecting them to win. And I can tell you many of those talented horses who did manage to do it didn't win by fancy margins either. They scraped in most cases, including Mr. Stunning, who won his debut there only by a neck. Little fun fact to go with this race, the owners of Romantic Trove have already had a winner on debut over the 1,000 metres at Happy Valley. In 2005 they had Romantic Winner, and he scored impressively there his first start, ended up winning 3 of his 8 starts, but was held back by injuries during his career. Now when we look at the map for Sunday's race, Harmony and Blessed, he has a good draw, that's going to help, but so too do a couple of his speedier rivals, Gowton of Garrow on the inside and Wild West Wing in between them. So that's something he's going to have to overcome as well. And just one more thing for the unraced horse to think about. So the tip in race 4, Wild West Wing. His winning factor, experience. He's in good form. I'm pretty sure he's not going to turn out the best horse in this race. I think that's going to be Harmony and Blessed. But he has been round the block a few times already, Wild West Wing. He's mentally mature, and that might just be the edge he needs, as this 1,000 metres at Happy Valley is a great leveller for these unraced horses. The other race I want to take a look at on Sunday is the final race, race 10, and our winning factor here, the map. Well, a pretty solid Class 2 sprint here with chances like Shining Ace at the top of the weights, the ultra consistent Good Luck Friend. Francis Lloyd trained Highland Fortune with the blinkers going on. Gunnison ran a great race at his first start for Me Choi, and Green Eon from the Casper Founds yard is back to the course where he won impressively in Class 3. And everyone knows, I guess if you follow Hong Kong racing, that Casper Founds is the king of the valley. He wins more races at Happy Valley than any other trainer. But what we have to ask ourselves as punters is, does that still make him profitable? And we're going to take a look at a graphic here to assess the profitability of the trainers at Happy Valley, and you see our top 5 Happy Valley trainers when it comes to beating the market expectations, and the answer is a resounding yes. Casper Founds is still a profitable man to follow there over the last 10 years. Francis Lloyd sits at the top of the list, just ahead of Ricky Yu, with Founds and Danny Shum also exceptional performers breathing down their necks. And we have a clash between 3 of those gentlemen in this race. Founds with Green Eon, Highland Fortune for Francis Loy, and the horse that I want to focus on, Good Luck Friend for Ricky Yu. And here's his latest performance in race 102 after stringing a number of wins together at the end of last season. A Good Luck Friend has shown he's returned very well with strong efforts, although he's been beaten twice this season. And here's his latest at Sha Tin last month. He's here in the green and white colours, sits up on the speed in a race where there wasn't a lot of pressure on early and they sprinted home hard, so those nearer the front were advantaged. And he just found California Rad a touch too strong at the end, but another great run from a very consistent horse. And there's been a lot to like about the runs also of Green Eon and Highland Fortune, but now we get to the part where their fortunes on Sunday might diverge. And that's the map. Green Eon, he's going to get back from his wide draw. Highland Fortune has pace, and Zach Purton might try to use the likely leader Team Spirit to bring him across, but there are still a few possible speed bumps inside for him. Meanwhile, Good Luck Friend, who has great tactical pace to lead or sit behind, I think he'll probably let Team Spirit go, take the trail behind him and have a very cosy run, and that's a great position that wins a lot of races at Happy Valley sitting behind the leader. So the tip in race 10, Good Luck Friend, his winning factor, the map. He has a number of decent rivals here. It's not all one-way traffic, but I think Good Luck Friend is going to get the ideal position in running here to be able to show his best. And we've seen how profitable it is to follow Ricky Yu's horses at Happy Valley. Well, that's it from the winning factor this week. Good luck at Happy Valley. We'll see you next time.